Goodness, 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 I am late for an update video. Where's my siren? Howdy folks, and welcome to version 18 of Minecraft Transport Simulator. So this update's going to be a little bit different than some of the other ones, in that a lot of what we updated was actually the blocks, not the vehicles, though we still did do some updates on the vehicles. So anyways, let's get to it. Now, blocks, as you may know in Transport Simulator, really only consist of a few things. Poles, lights, signs, crossing signals, traffic signals, signal controllers, and fuel pumps. Not too much in there, but all of those have been changed. And so, let me show you around. First of all, when it comes to the poles and everything, they are now pack-based. So you can go into this decor bench here and ignore this generically bland fuel pump here that is only here for legacy purposes. And instead, let's look at these funny looking pole things. Of course, your poles won't look like that, but they could if you put solid blocks on every side. So you got poles, you got crossing signals, street lights, traffic signals, signs you're very familiar with, a nice new fuel pump, and a signal controller. And of course your other doors. You know, if you go to the UNU parts pack, you have the same thing. You have poles, poles, more poles, traffic signals, other traffic signals, yet more traffic signals, and of course your standard decorations and what have yous. Lovely stuffs. Of course you have fuel pumps and other signal controller whoosy whatsits as well. And so that begs the question, if poles are in a pack, can you actually add more poles? Of course the answer is yes, and we're going to show you kind of how that works. So right here you have a standard intersection. Of course the signal controller hasn't changed, it's on vehicle trigger, so if actually it didn't blow through the intersection and stayed over here, that light would have changed. So that really hasn't changed. Of course you got that. You could have it on a time delay. So if I hit confirm, of course it's going to be, let's see, green, main signal. Primary axis is Z. This is X, so that will be green for 10 seconds. And as you can see right there, it's starting to change. Boom. Now you can go over here, walk across the street. Better hurry, not get hit by a car. Then boom. Lovely stuff. So that really hasn't changed. The signage, of course, is the same. You can click a sign to edit the text. So if you want to change the speed limit to 55, something more reasonable, let's just say 80. Why not 88? Lovely stuff. Speed limit is set. So again, that's kind of stuff you've known. The thing is you can't just go and place stuff down willy-nilly. So let's go back to this here decor bench, and I'm going to go place down some UNU stuff because I feel it's I mean, you already know what the LCP stuff looks like. It's just sitting up there. So let's go grab let's go with a pole base. That wouldn't hurt. Standard pole. Let's do one of those horizontal traffic signals, vertical traffic signals. And you know what? I think that will work. So let's go, let's give that a whirl. And ooh, let's get the signal controller too. Let's get that, where did that signal controller go? He was over here, wasn't he? Lovely. Okay, so signal controller. Lovely stuff. Now I'm going to not mess with that intersection. I'm going to come over here and let's just pretend that this is an intersection right here. So of course you can place down your pole base here, and as you know with poles they kind of connect to one another, so you got that kind of goes over that way, that kind of goes over that way. All lovely looking stuff. Lovely, lovely. So you can have your pole base come up here. You can have a pole come out over here. Lovely stuff. And you can put some traffic signals, so like a standard one like that, and a horizontal one like that. Lovely stuff. So, of course, you can see this guy's shaded, so the little there comes out. Fun stuff. And, of course, you can do other signals over there. Now, one of the nice things about the UNU pack is you can break this pole base here and stick a signal controller. And, well, if there wasn't a tree in the way, you know what, just go away, tree. Don't need you there. So, as you can see, it integrates quite nicely with the pole, almost like it was meant to be there. So again, you can open the signal controller, same thing. I only found 2 because it's 25 blocks, and that's more than 25 blocks away. So again, you scan it, time delay, whatever, confirm, and off it goes to the races. Now, of course, poles, as you can see, you can place them down. But if you try and place down a traffic signal, of course, it can't be placed because it's a traffic signal, and traffic signals can only go on poles. The other thing you may have noticed is it goes on the pole. So if I get rid of, let's get rid of this stuff here. Good, yeah, that's just kind of get in the way. Goodbye. So let's just say I have this pole here, and maybe you want to have one of those annoying ones that goes and sits in the middle of the intersection. So let's go grab that. And you can put a standard signal on there, standard signal on there, standard signal on there, and another one on there. So you can have one of them doghouse boxes, I think it's called, with signals on every side. So lovely stuff. So that's kind of traffic signals. Now, let's go look at signs. Of course, as you noticed, I was able to change the text on this sign, but it didn't bring up the usual GUI. And that is because signs are crafted on the bench here. Now, of course, for the official content pack, we didn't have anything that required crafting materials for a sign, so we didn't do anything that way. We just said, air, whatever, that works. Lovely. So, got ourselves a nice route sign. Of course, like every other thing that goes on a pole, you can click the ground, it won't do that. But you could go and you could place it right here on a pole. Lovely. So, Route 66. Now, maybe you don't want to have to go and do that every time, because it kind of stinks to have to go place a bunch of route signs and then GUI, route signs, GUI. Same thing with speed limit signs. So if you go and you middle click a sign, you can see it's a pole, not a sign. And that's because it has remembered everything on the pole. So if you were to try and place the pole down, boom, you'd have the same sign there. Of course, because this is on the ground, it rendered the little ground bit, so let's kind of ignore that. And let's go, well, yeah, I don't have another. You know what, here, I'll just use something janky. Put a standard pole on there and then stick the sign on top of it. So, yeah. Totally janky, but the poles don't care. So, should make your life a little bit easier. So, the other thing you might have noticed is these street lights are currently off. So if I go set it to nighttime, no street lights. Of course, you have some quite nice traffic signals. And that's because the signal controller, as you might have noticed, can search for street lights. Now, if it finds a street light, it won't do anything with it. It doesn't really care. But if you apply a redstone signal underneath the signal controller, which in this case I am, there's a little redstone torch down here, the signal controller will actually stop the lights from shining. So if I go put that grass block back to get my redstone rip-alongs and flip a this switch, voila, lights come on. Lights off, lights on, lights off, lights on. Fun stuff. So those are lovely little things. Lights that can be turned on and off should you wish. Traffic signals, all good stuff. Another thing you may have noticed is this traffic signal here is sitting on a slab. And so these poles are smart enough that should you put a slab under them, they will automatically go to it. Of course, now that's air and there's nothing there for it to go on, so it just sits there floating. But if you put a slab down there, it'll connect. The same thing, of course, will happen if you take this, of course, that's a full block now, but you can do that and you can do slabs upward too. I guess if you wanted to use some structural supports that'd look cool, you could make columns. Fun stuff. So, lovely stuff with the signal controller, signals, and all those fun things. Let me double check my... Yep, I talked about that. Okay, so, lovely things. Minor tweaks I should mention, of course, is if you search for engines, they actually show up. That was an oops on my part. That is now fixed. Apparently there's like a bunch of other things besides engines in here, but if you search for engines, engines show up. Other little tweaks, of course, have been crashes and fixes, but that is kind of all for that at the moment. So, let me set this back to daytime. And me go grab this police car again. Do, 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 do. As you can see, you have these fun lights here. It's daytime. Nothing special. Nothing special. But, well, I put the parking brake on and the door's open. That's kind of special. Let's just shift it to neutral. So, this is daytime. Lovely stuff. And of course, you know there's nighttime. But, most people's world doesn't look like this. And by that, I mean most people play with shaders, because why not make everything fancy and shiny, you know? So I'm going to switch to this nice continuum shader here. That's probably woefully outdated, but it's what I happen to have lying around. So, as you can see, this got bright. Of course, the engine doesn't make a sound anymore. Still haven't managed to figure out why sounds die. They're only looping sounds, though, so if you start the engine, it comes back up. Again, Minecraft sound system is janky, as you probably noticed. So, daytime, lovely stuff. You can still see the red lights. You can still see the stuff. Of course, I'm turning, so that signal has changed because I'm over here. Fun stuff. But, again, a lot of people's shaders problems don't happen in the daytime because it's just so dang bright. You don't see nothing much of nothing. So, what if I was to be at, say, nighttime? Okay, set 1800. Okay, so this is very dark. Can't really see anything. Also, those brake lights, well, there we go. Those brake lights don't do much. You can turn on the headlights. What headlights, you might say? Totally useless. Doesn't do anything. I mean, granted, that block does something. Then you come over here to this traffic signal. I mean, you can kinda see it, but not really. It doesn't really do you any good. However, what if I told you there were a couple of config options you could use to fix that? So if you hit your P key and go to your config, these 4 options here are designed for shaders. So, vehicle block light, we'll get to that one at the end. So, flare blending, whether or not you want to blend the flares. Normally it's false, because if you have that true when you're in regular mode, it looks janky. But we'll skip that for now. Beam blending will make beams and stuff light. Well, clearly the beams aren't light. It's perhaps this option here, light past 0, that tends to have the effect on a lot of shaders. So if you hit light past 0, voila! Look at those lights that came on. Again, if you turn on your flare blending, then the little shiny bits come on, and also those little lights there come on. Lovely stuff. And also, you might have noticed this vehicle's kind of dark. You can also turn on vehicle block light, which is basically going to make a block follow the vehicle around. I would not recommend this for performance reasons, but you can do it should you wish. And sometimes you have to have that. So you could have the block light, you can turn off the blending, and I mean, that's not super shiny, but it's a heck of a lot better than just a hunk of black texture. So definitely things that can be worked at. So I'm going to turn those headlights off just for the moment. And let's go turn the flare and the beam blending back on. Let's turn the block light off. We don't need that. And let's go take a look at those lovely traffic signals. So, lovely. Very easy to see. So, you won't get confused whatsoever with that. Lovely stuff. So, let's turn this guy off, and let's go look at a different vehicle. This Scout over here. So, there's nothing too surprising about this Scout. I mean, it is a Scout after all, and y'all probably know what it is. But let's go take it for a spin. There's something I want to show y'all. But before I fire it off, or fire it up, well, you know what, I got something, leave it for later. Yeah, what the heck, I'll show y'all now, I'm feeling giddy. So let's say you have, let's say you have a wolf. And I'm going to need a bone to tame it, aren't I? Of course. So, let's say you have a wolf right here that you're tamed, man's best friend, stuff like that. And maybe you want to go take a drive somewhere. Well, of course, if you go and you try and take a drive with a wolf sitting there, then he's going to kind of follow you around, maybe, maybe not. He is, but that kind of stinks. I mean, you don't want to have to make him walk all his lonesome. And knowing our luck, he might accidentally fall underneath a vehicle, and that would not be fun. In fact, where'd he go? You think you're underneath the scout? So let's, there you are. Why are you over there? Anywho, let's go to this intersection where we can actually see him. So, there he is. It's going to kind of stink trying to make him follow us. Now, of course, you could take a lead and drag him along while you're riding the vehicle, but that's not the nicest thing to do. So instead, let's just take a lead and right-click this seat with him. Actually, lovely. Now he can go for a ride with us. If I can actually get in the seat. Lovely stuff. So, turn our lights back on, and let's go for a drive. So you can take man's best friend for a ride in the car with you. Now, another thing y'all have mentioned is it's kind of a pain with the keyboard to hit gas, no gas, gas, no gas, gas, no gas. That's not fun. And, of course, if you're trying to maintain a speed, that's just kind of annoying. So, what's our code on the road there? Oh, lovely. That smells like it might be crash time for shaders. We'll see how long this lasts. So, anyways, let's say you're driving along, and you have a problem just trying to keep it at constant speed. I mean, you gotta press the gas, the brake, and everything. So, if you go in here into the panel, and hit the cruise button, cruise control comes on. What that's going to do is that's going to basically keep you going the same speed you're always going. So right now you can just focus on steering instead of actually other things like gas and what have you. So it'll kind of just keep you moseying. Now, of course, should you need to stop for something, you can. Like if I need to make this turn here, slow down, and the cruise control trying to bring me back up to speed. And then once it gets me up to speed, it'll kind of let off the gas. So, lovely stuff. Binky, 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 binky. So, yeah, you can have cruise control in your vehicles. You can take man's best friend for a ride, and, no, I want to make that turn. Driving at nighttime is kind of stinky. I think I might need bigger headlights on this vehicle. So, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Now, of course, where would you be if you didn't extend that stuff to planes? Of course, planes don't have cruise control. And you know what? To avoid a crash, I'm gonna go turn these shaders off because I don't trust that OpenGL Stack Overflow stuff. That smells like Crash City trying to come kill me. So let's turn those shaders off. I don't like the looks of that. So yeah, not escape. Okay, dismount. So we're dismounted, and of course, if you want to go take pal for a walk, you just lead him up again. Lovely stuff. I'm not going to make him try and go through the door. That's just not going to work. So, planes 2. So, there you go. You know what? You can go for a ride too. And also, we're going to make pigs fly today. So, lovely stuff. So you got this jet here. And I'm going to set it to daytime because I can't see worth anything out there on the landing strip. And, of course, you got to start it up. Flick the mag, hold to start. Flick the mag, hold start. Lovely stuff. So, I think both engines are started. Take the brake off. And give it a little bit of power. Alrighty, so let's go taxi out to this here runway, which happens to have a jet plane on it, but that's okay. They're not doing anything except looking cool. Go along over here, and get ready to take off. So I'm going to hit the flaps button down twice. That's going to get me just a little bit of flaps. And I'm going to go ahead and just rev up those engines. And away we go. 15 blocks per second, 20 blocks a second, 25. There we are. So I can let off the gas throttle a little bit. And of course, as you're flying around, you're going to, of course, gain altitude. You're going to lose altitude. You're going to want to turn. Of course, then you're going to not want to turn. I mean, shoot, I'm turning this way. But, I mean, then you got to get straight. But then, of course, maybe you're not straight. Maybe you turn a little bit. That kind of stinks. So, just have the autopilot take care of that for you. So when you go and hit autopilot, you can see on that rightmost gauge there that nose and stabilizer trim and wing trim are kind of doing their thing. What that's going to do is that's going to basically make the airplane try and keep itself level, first and foremost. So you can see the little attitude indicator there is moving around. And the other thing is it's going to adjust the elevator trim to try and keep it level. So, and I don't want to get too far away from the airport because I know in my luck I will lose out where it is, and that's going to stink. Let's see, Journey Map says I gotta go that way. Somewhere? Should be that way. Lovely stuff. Anyways, so it's going to keep the same elevation, and I probably have too much throttle because you see I'm picking up speed even though I'm not picking up altitude. So let's tone down the throttle. Ah, okay. Lovely stuff. So again, you can turn a little bit, and it'll straighten itself up for you. I say that as long as you're not in a lag stall. Come on. Stop lagging, Minecraft. I don't need you to be laggy. Oh, I am way off course. No wonder it's laggy. It's probably generating chunks. So, lovely stuff. As you can see, I'm trying to make it. It'll kind of rock a little bit, and then it realizes, oh, wait a minute, I overcorrected. So it'll bring it back over that way, and it'll just kind of, like I said, it'll keep you pretty much straight and level. Lovely stuff. So let's land this here airplane, and of course, as you know, my landings are always top-notch, never fail, hit the runway straight every time. If you believe that, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. So let's try not to go crash in the water. That would not be fun. But I do want to get lower because I always try and land coming in too high, and that's never fun. So as you can see, as I take the throttle down, that stabilizer trim gets a little bit lower and lower. Because it's trying to make me, actually I think it's trying to make me pitch down because I have too much lift. Come on, you can do it. You know, I may overshoot the runway here. Let's see what happens. Let's turn off autopilot. I think that might be doing more harm than good. There we are. Come on, stop, airplane. Lovely. See, like a glove. Right at the end of the taxiway, just where I meant to be. Never mind the fact I came in slightly crooked. And I may be going too fast on the taxiway hitting the grass, and I may run the risk of running into another plane. But I mean, we're on the ground, aren't we? That's the whole point. Ah, okay, so you see right there how my wing trim is that way? That's because that pesky autopilot left it that way. So turn the autopilot back on, and it should, there we are, it should balance out. So don't turn off the autopilot unless you're level. It gets cranky about that. So let's turn reverse thrust on and back this sucker up into that hangar right there. As you can see, going backwards in a jet engine is not nearly as easy as going forwards. Well, not easy. I should say fast. I mean, look at that right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And let's turn the reverse thrust off and throttle it down before I burn my engines out. And turn both those off. So lovely stuff. That's passengers riding. You can thank Bunting CH for that ticket. So what else do we have? Autopilot. Oh yes, that was Dr. Professor Luigi's thing. And Bunting was also the one for the buddies where you can take people with you. So I should mention there were a lot of things here that were from other people. So there were, like I said, there was the animals riding was from Bunting. The autopilot and cruise was from Dr. Professor Luigi. Bunting also made changes to how the players sit inside gun turrets so they don't rotate all weird. And there's a couple of other features that you won't be seeing right now because no packs have them. But F-Sin is what I call him, and that's probably not how you pronounce the name, but dagnabbit, that's how it is in my brain. He made some superchargers, so be prepared for souped-up hot rods. As to me, I will stick with Scouts and, of course, the old 1920s vehicles with klaxon horns and the U&U packs. So, you have that, and speaking of packs, of course, we have official vehicle with all that stuff. You have U&U, but a lot of you have been complaining about no helicopters, but guys, there's a thing that says Gyro Heroes Helicopter Pack linked on Curse. It clearly has helicopters. It has attack helicopters. It has guns. It has rockets. It has chain guns. It has rocket pods. It even has other fun things like engines. So, give it a look, guys. And in fact, to keep, basically let y'all see what it is, I'm going to demonstrate it right now. So, lovely attack helicopter. And, of course, there's no guns on it, and if I was to try and put a gun on, I couldn't. And I found out that's because you need seats to actually have a gunner. You can't really have guns without seats. Well, I mean, you can have guns without seats. They're called, tank. Well, does tanks even have seats? Tanks have seats, too. Well, you can have handheld guns, but that is not what Minecraft Transport Simulator is about. But I'm digressing, so let's go get ourselves a manly pink seat and throw it inside this helicopter. Now, you can actually put a chain gun right. Well, I'd say you can put a chain gun there if I didn't click the seat. So, lovely stuff. And then there's a chain gun, so if I click that guy, you can kind of hear the gun reloading sound. And you can also put some nice Hydra rocket pods on the thing, so lovely. There's that, and training. Ooh, what do we actually... Ooh, high explosive. That sounds fun. Let's load that up. And, ooh, we can put another Hydra rocket pod over here. Lovely stuff. I mean, you could never have too many rockets. And so you got your helicopter here. And you know what? I wonder if it can actually fit pontoon. Let's find out. Maybe it can be a float copter. Can it be a float copter? No. So sad. You just have to make sure to, like, hover. That's okay. So, helicopters. Fun stuff. And you know what? Actually, I bet those gauges... Let's see those gauges go on there. Yes, change gun. Gotta have some ammo indicators. So there's that. Let's just do an airspeed indicator and a altimeter. So I should mention that helicopters still use blimp physics. So you can go straight up, but you can't turn on a dime. We're working on that. We're working on that. One thing at a time. You can get traffic signals and shader compatibility and rideable entities and autopilot in one update, and then we can go work on actual helicopter physics in another, guys. So just hold on to your britches. So let's go. You know what? I can't start this up because like a Doomkoof I didn't put an engine in it. That says helicopter engine. Does that work? No. This engine maybe? The circle one? No. Maybe it's General Electric. Okay, so General Electric engine works. Lovely. So, okay, so let's go back into that seat and go fire ourselves up an engine. Again, get the other engine fired up. I don't know if that's for the tail rotor or not. We'll find out. Is that for the tail rotor? Hard to say, hard to say. Nah, they're both on the same engine. That's okay. We'll just have 2 engine powers, because 2 engines are always better than 1. So, lovely stuff. So again, like I said, they're blimps. So you use the W key to rise, the S key to sink, the I key to increase the throttle, which is basically forwards like on a aircraft. And you can then steer with the W and D key as if you were a car. You can also use the J and L keys, so choice is yours. So let's go over to some brand new unexplored chunks and test out these guns. It's fun to see what we got. These unexplored chunks over here somewhere. See a floating hunk of dirt. Okay, duly noted. And I probably shouldn't be going that too fast because it's easily shaky. Yeah, I'm in the red. That's too fast for helicopters. Let's turn on the reverse. Again, because it's limp, reverse works the same way. Mom, slow down, helicopter. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Lesson learned. Okay, learn our lesson. You will not overspeed helicopters faster than a jet aircraft. Okay, so there we are. That is a nice slower speed. So let us get into the gunner's seat here and test out some guns. Oop, I see some divots. You know what, I'm going to probably turn it to night. Because there's tracer rounds on there. And that should actually let me see where I'm firing. Well, it would. Well, I can see them blinking. But it's so dadgum dark that I can't see anything else. So I guess it'll be daytime. We're going to be going and doing target practice. Oh well. So let's. Oh crud! We only have 2 rockets left. That's weak. Now I have to go aim carefully. Okay, so that packs a wallet. Awesome. And that little high explosive round seems to do the trick too, especially for those pesky dirt blocks. And so I have 0 rockets in the right pod. I won't fire anymore. So let's go. Maybe this one has a separate rocket pod. Oh yeah. So, okay, so apparently you choose different seats of different rockets. Boom. 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 Okay, so this will make quick work of a village or anyone's base. Lovely stuff. And if you happen to need something else to take out some pesky creepers or stragglers, you have these lovely high explosives. Awesome stuff. So let's go back to the airport and try out another helicopter, say. And this time I'm gonna be smart and and not make the helicopter go fast as a jet engine. That would be a very bad idea. So yeah, lovely stuff. And can I fire? I mean, I can fire, but I can't see what I'm hitting. Did I hit anything? I see divots. I must have hit something. Just what I was aiming for. Okay, so let's try and land this sucker. And I could put it down by those other helicopters. In fact, I probably will. Or I could put it down on top of the firehouse there. I'll probably just stick it down here. Okay, note to self. Gentler landings are probably better with helicopters. Either that or I hit... well, I guess I hit the other helicopter. You know what? If I had a helicopter with a chain gun, I'd be blowing you up right now. Stupid helicopters. Anyways, so there's that pack. And of course, there are other packs that have helicopters. And where the heck is it? There we are. Liquid's vehicle pack. He has helicopters too. So, and a Batmobile, in case you want one of those. So let's grab that, a Bell 47 engine. Of course, Bell 47 helicopters are not Black Apache helicopters. So you got that, tail rotors, main rotors, lovely stuff. And we're going to see if I can not crash this one. Again, yeah, your rocket pods don't go on the helicopter. You got that, a tail rotor, lovely, a main rotor. Okay, so it made the helicopter fly up. That's acceptable. I can still deal with that. Did I? Oh, good. My pink seat survived. Lovely. They'll go great with this pink helicopter. Come on. There we are. I don't need 2 seats. Is there a collision box in the way? Yes. Come on. There we go. Okay, so let's go start up this engine. Lovely stuff. So again, you can spin this helicopter around. Lovely stuff. Make it go faster. A little faster, but I'm not going to make it go that much faster, considering how much nastiness we had in the in the other helicopter. I don't feel like having this one run into oblivion and decide to kill itself. So let's take again, lovely little thing for flying around, and you know what? I'm going to just make sure that I stop, come to a complete stop here before I go do anything. So let's go turn that. Yeah, again, they're blimps. They're kind of janky, so you kind of have to turn the engine off. Nope. Okay, so that was good. So you can do that. You just don't come down too suddenly. You know what? Let's see what happens if you let's see. Since this is my helicopter, not yours. Let's go try it full speed in blimp mode. Okay, yeah. So lesson for the people of the day is don't make helicopters quote unquote land real quickly. So that's pretty much it as far as updates go. The others have lovely helicopters, lovely other things. I also saw what looked like to be an airplane in the U&U parts pack, civilian pack. So that sounds kind of cool. But this is not an airplane update. This is about helicopters. This is about blocks and other things you can fly. And so if you wanted to say do a other flyable thing, might I suggest this guy? I'm not going to place him down. I'm going to let you all have fun with him. But that's pretty much it for, like I said, there's blocks, there's traffic signals, there's poles, there's autopilot, there's cruise control, there's the ability to make pigs fly, there's the ability to have your buddy dog come on you with the trip to the Getting store in your country bumpkin truck. There's a whole bunch of other things you can have. And it's all in version 18. But this is it for the moment. And this is Don Bruce signing off.